This is Valley News Live at noon.
New at noon, a Clay County judge ruled the man accused of killing and dismembering 19-year-old Destiny Avery last April will not be allowed to withdraw his guilty plea. Ethan Broad is charged with second-degree intentional murder. He admitted to killing Avery, but in February, Broad wanted to withdraw his guilty plea and asked to take the case to trial. After a third competency evaluation on Broad, he was found competent to understand his plea agreement, which means Broad is scheduled to be sentenced next Friday, May 21st. Drone video is giving us a look at the heavy fire damage to a South Fargo strip mall. Firefighters kept an eye out for hot spots overnight at the fire along 32nd Avenue South and 20th Street in Fargo. Several businesses are destroyed, including Gigi's Playhouse and Body Works Physical Therapy. Flames were shooting from the roof as the first trucks arrived. Investigators are still looking for the cause and say they're working on a damage estimate on the strip mall. Now, every truck in the city was called in to help with the fire, and a few from Moorhead. Officials say a fire of this magnitude poses many challenges, including gaining entry to battle the flames inside. The type of building also plays a role in how firefighters handle this kind of fire.
The way they are constructed can add to a very rapid fire growth, which this one had a pretty rapid fire growth from the time of ignition till the time we got on scene.
One firefighter had a minor injury, but no one else was hurt. The fundraiser has been set up for Gigi's Playhouse. If you would like to donate, you can head over to their website, gigisplayhouse.org, or you can go to a link on our valleynewslive.com Facebook page. Now, not only is the warm weather here, but Lisa Green is back as well with her check of the weather. Welcome back, Lisa.
Good afternoon. Thank you. It's great to be back and to be talking about great conditions out there this afternoon. We're looking at temperatures that are already reaching the 70-degree mark in some locations. We're at 70 in Hallock, Roseau at 70 degrees, and we're not far off in Grand Forks and Fargo, already at 67. So we're working on warming things up, and we'll continue to enjoy some sunshine throughout much of the valley today. A little different from yesterday. We've got the wind picking up. It's coming in out of the south or southwest in most areas. You can see our wind speeds are in that 5 to 15 mile per hour range or more. And then the wind gusts in yellow here are more into the 20s. So we'll see more of that as we continue on to the afternoon. And with dry conditions out there, yet again, we have some concerns about near critical fire danger. So again, just keep that in mind as we're working our way through the afternoon hours. You can see some fair weather cumulus clouds popping this afternoon, especially around Grand Forks and over toward Bemidji. Otherwise, looking at some beautiful blue skies here for the day. A look at your hourly planner. We're expecting to get to that 70-degree mark in Fargo, and we're looking at a few clouds popping up, but otherwise looking gorgeous. And we'll let you know how long this will last coming up in your 7-day planner.
I hope it decides to last a long time.
Me too.
Thanks, Lisa. Well, the FBI is investigating the death of a man whose body was found in a lake on the Turtle Mountain Reservation near Belcourt. The body of Williston man Brandon Gonzalez was recovered on May 2nd. Investigators say the death is suspicious, but the official cause and manner of his death have not been determined. Gas prices are spiking and stations are running dry as we enter day 6 of a pipeline shutdown due to a cyber attack. Gas Buddy says about 1,800 stations in multiple states are out of fuel, and the shortages are primarily because of the panic buying and people hoarding gasoline. A large part of the system is back online, and much of the rest is expected to be restarted by the end of the week. Now, the cyber attack has some questioning the long-term reliability of the Dakota Access Pipeline and Keystone Pipelines in North Dakota and Minnesota. DAPL has a similar operations center, which leaves them vulnerable to the same type of attack. So the company is taking precautions to strengthen infrastructure so they're not susceptible to attacks. The North Dakota Mineral Resources Director says the current gas shortage on the East Coast isn't expected to extend to North Dakota, although he expects to see some temporary gasoline prices increases. Behind closed doors, House Republicans voted to remove Wyoming Congresswoman Liz Cheney from her leadership position. Cheney has been a harsh critic of President Trump, and many believe her opposition to the former president cost her today. Natalie Brand has the latest from Capitol Hill.
Do you feel betrayed by today's vote? I do not. I think that it is an indication of where the Republican Party is, and I think that the party is in a place that we've got to bring it back from, and we've got to get back to a position where we are a party that can fight for conservative principles.
Ahead of the vote, Cheney took to the House floor Tuesday night to warn that former President Trump is threatening democracy with election fraud lies.
Remaining silent and ignoring the lie emboldens the liar. I will not participate in that.
Cheney had survived a previous attempt to oust her from her role as conference chair back in February after she voted to impeach former President Trump on a charge of inciting the January 6th Capitol attack.
I will do everything I can to ensure that the former president never again gets anywhere near the Oval Office. We have seen the danger that he continues to provoke with his language.
House GOP leader Kevin McCarthy had defended Cheney back then, but has since thrown his support behind New York Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, an ally of former President Trump.
Do you support Elise Stefanik for that job?
Yes, I do.
Wednesday's vote makes clear former President Trump maintains a firm grip on GOP party politics, but also reveals a split.
Liz has committed the only sin of being consistent and telling the truth.
The vote to replace Cheney could come as early as Friday. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
After Cheney's ouster today, former President Trump called her a bitter, horrible human being who is bad for the Republican Party. The Minnesota State University Moorhead class of 2021 is celebrating their achievements with a commencement tomorrow. Close to 800 graduates won't walk the stage, but instead be given a platform virtually when their names are called. Smaller in-person ceremonies will be held for graduates and international students with a hooding and sash ceremony. School officials say it hasn't been the easiest year for graduating students, so it's especially important to celebrate their achievements.
It's incredibly important to celebrate our graduating seniors. They have accomplished so much and had so much grit to get through the last year and a half.
4 ceremonies will take place over the next 2 days. If you'd like to watch, we have the link at valleynewslive.com. Construction is starting on a new BMX racetrack in Grand Forks. Red River BMX and Hugo's are breaking ground on the new Hugo's Raceway this afternoon. The new location south of the Alaris Center. They will provide an upgraded track, more centralized location, and allow the group to host regional and national races. The first races are scheduled for June 1st. Well, lab-made diamonds are up to 10 times less expensive than mined diamonds. We'll talk about the new trends coming up at noon. And the weather is continuing to warm up, may even be a great day to eat outdoors. Weather up next to Plan Your Day with meteorologist Lisa Green.